Hello, listeners. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. If you are a longtime listener, welcome back. There's some new, exciting things happening with the podcast. First, if you want to keep updated with new episodes and what we have coming up, make sure to find us on Facebook and like the page. You can also make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to the podcast. Second, we are in the middle of a fundraising drive. We are looking to expand our reach and add more resources for production so that we can keep bringing you interviews from around the city. This includes finding new people interested in conducting interviews in their neighborhoods, but we need the financial support of the community members like you. To donate to the podcast, go to paypal.me/facesofgp. That's Faces of GP. I'm so proud to be bringing value to my community with educational and informative information to my neighbors in the city, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. Today, my guest is Monica Gonzales. She's the new executive director of the Pregnancy Resource Center of Prairie. Monica and I sat down at the center to discuss what this nonprofit does for our community. We discussed the center's mission of helping women make informed decisions when facing an unplanned pregnancy. We discussed the center's partnerships with local churches and why that's important, why it's important to partner with the charity that you are passionate about, and how we can encourage and mentor young people to become more involved citizens in their communities. I had such a welcoming and uplifting visit with everyone at the center, and my spirit was truly encouraged with this interview. Make sure to check out the podcast description for contact information if you are interested in learning more about the center. And now, here's Monica Gonzales. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good, and I am so glad that y'all happened to come to my church on Sunday, because y'all have been on my list of people to talk to.
Oh, great. Yes.
I just can't say enough good things. So we're here at the Pregnancy Resource Center in Prairie, and y'all came and talked at First Baptist on Sunday, and I said, I've got to go talk to you. But I hadn't met you yet. So how long have you been the director here now?
Well, at the end of May, it was going to be 1 year. So a year when COVID started.
So you came in with absolutely zero, anything going on externally, like you just walked right in, no challenges or anything, no COVID.
Exactly. So, yep, I've been here. It's gonna be a year.
You know, and y'all are, and I'm gonna give you a chance to kind of talk about the center itself and kind of what y'all do, but you work with a lot of people. Y'all work with people in person. It's a very intimate thing. So having something like COVID, did that change a lot of things for you guys and how y'all met with people? And
it did change. It did change quite a bit, but we still continue to see clients in person by appointment only.
Oh, good.
Yes. So we were able to put in like a 45 minutes to an hour gap between each appointment, which gave us time to clean up and get things ready for our next young lady to come in. And but we did not open not one time.
Wow.
So we did stay open.
That's amazing. So for those of y'all that don't know, the Resource Center it's off of 303 in Corn Valley, and it is just right south of the Mountain Creek Retirement Community, the retirement home. And y'all are in these office buildings here.
Yes.
And I had volunteered here several years ago, but even I didn't know where y'all were located. So I'm glad that we're here, because I want people to know y'all are here and where y'all are. But talk a little bit just about, like, what does y'all's organization do for the community?
Well, we actually, as you mentioned, we are kind of hidden back here, and there's still a lot of people who don't know that we are even here, but there's still a lot that do know that we're here. So, and I believe that we get more word of mouth, you know, a friend of a friend or a family member that we're able to assist and help. But what we do here at the Pregnancy Resource Center of Prairie, we offer pregnancy tests, sonograms, baby items, maternity clothes, and we're here to counsel and encourage anyone that comes in with an unplanned pregnancy that does not know what to do or feels that they are trapped or that it's a burden, and we speak life words into them that it's not a burden. This is a gift. This is a gift, and we help with resources and educate them on all the other options that they can have, that they do have. So that's what we do, and we just establish a relationship with each woman, family, a man that comes through here, because they also come with a boyfriend, a husband, a friend, a mother. So we also educate them and give them resources as well.
Yes, that is such an important point to make. So I want to talk about that and just all the resources. But first, y'all have a full-time, is it nurse or doctor that is here doing sonograms?
We have a part-time sonographer.
Yes. Okay.
Emily Davis, and she is here twice a week. And she's amazing. We love her. She's doing a great job. But
y'all have a whole clinical setup in there. You have a bed, everything.
We do.
And that just in and of itself, and the sonic, these are all resources provided for the clients for free.
Yes.
And so this is something that y'all provide, and y'all also have donations for people to come in if they need baby items, materials, clothes. Like, how many do y'all get a lot of donations just all the time, or do y'all need things all the time?
Actually, both. We do receive donations all the time, and of course, we need more. As some are going out, we need more to replenish, restock. But I gotta say, the community is amazing. They show out. We get our churches, our local churches and pastors and just people all around just to that they love this ministry. They know what this ministry does, and so they come with just items, whether it's formula, car seats, strollers, cribs, monetary, baby items, everything. They just come through. They really do. But the community, I always like saying that we have a community love, sharing community love.
100%. This is something that when this is such an interesting topic for communities, and how do you help meet those needs of the people in the community that need a service like this, where they need somebody to be there to tell them there's options for you. Like, you have people that love you, you have people that care about you, and then provide them with things that they might need to go through with their pregnancy and after. And for y'all to be able to do that is really amazing. And I think that one of the things that's so important with what we're doing, what I'd like to do on this podcast, is give the citizens of Grand Prairie all the different ways that the nonprofit organizations are meeting the needs of the citizens. The government can't meet all of our needs. Our city government can't meet all of our needs. And luckily we have so many that are providing those services, and y'all are one of them. And the partnerships that y'all have with the church are another thing that's really amazing. We'll talk about that in a minute. But how much of a need do y'all have for something like this? How many clients do y'all have come through? And how many, do y'all, is this something that people need just a lot in our community? Is a place like this?
Absolutely. This is definitely one of the nonprofit organizations here in Grand Prairie that is very much needed. We do have many young women, families that come through these doors from different cultures, different backgrounds, and we see, at least it varies every day or week by week, but we see a lot of young ladies. There's up to the past 2 years. In 2019, we saw 2,478 young ladies,
wow.
families.
Wow.
In 2020, we saw over 3,000, and that's including with pregnancy tests, sonograms, coming to visit our boutique, which is our boutique is where they come in and they pick their baby clothes, diapers, the baby items that they need, formula. But we also do counseling here. We have a pastoral counseling that is serviced here as well. And we also, young ladies that come back after they've had their baby, and they come back and they just want to share on, everything that's happened this whole year. We walk through, not just through their pregnancy, but after their pregnancy. We help them. We lock arms with them. It's not just a one-time appointment that they just come and go. No, this is a lifelong relationship. We may not see them for a year or two, but then here they come visiting us and just letting us know on how they're doing. And so it's really nice. It's good. It's good too, so that they know that we're here for them, not just temporarily, but this is a lifelong journey with them.
Because what you're and just to be really specific about like what this center does, I volunteered here. I don't know, it probably was a year. This is not an OBGYN or anything like that. This is a center for, and it's all ages of women, really. There's all ages that come through. But anybody that's facing a pregnancy that was unexpected, that could be either not sure how to move forward and a choice that they are thinking about making, the center is here to help them as best they can to support them with having having that baby and with moving forward with that baby. And even if that, just however y'all can help support them is what y'all want to do. So there'd be people that would call all the time that would be confused about when they see Pregnancy Resource Center, and they're like, okay, what are y'all? Are y'all like a doctor's office? Like, no, it's not a doctor's office. It's got nothing to do with, you're not associated with any other clinics or anything like that. You are here to serve the needs of those women, and the counseling is a big part of that.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about, I was kind of pleasantly surprised when I went through how much training to be a volunteer, as far as to be a counseling volunteer, not to do maybe things in the office or things like that, but to actually go back and have those types of counseling relationships. The volunteers go through a lot. So talk about what they do and their importance as far as what they do with clients when y'all come in.
As the volunteers, okay, the volunteers, we have volunteers and we also have advocates. So
thank you. Yes, I knew that there was a better word than
yes, so we also have advocates, and that's what we are. We are advocates. All of us are advocates for these young families that walk through the doors. But and I'm glad you asked me, because the counseling, because these ladies, they not only need the resources and the education, but they need emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual guidance. All that comes connected. And when we see a young lady come in emotionally, like she's just emotionally drained because she does not know what to do, and we see that, and we see the brokenness, so we help them along the way. We provide all these resources. Now, as a volunteer and as an advocate, they do go through a lengthy time of training. There's a lengthy time of training that they go through. It takes at least I'm gonna say 5 to 6 weeks to have some training, to have that training, and also to be able to like you said, not just doing the phone answering, the clerical work, but also the other side, the other aspect of the counseling and advocates. So the volunteers are ones that they come in and they could help us with packing boxes or putting pamphlets together. And there's so much to do. An advocate is more like she will be here to, like you said, help counsel, talk to her. If you establish a relationship with this young lady, she knows, okay, well, you know what, Monica, I'd rather speak to Monica because Monica, I've already established that relationship with her, and she knows pretty much everything that I've been through. So, and they do. If I speak to a young lady on the phone, over the phone that we do our intake, we already establishing that relationship, so that when she walks in the door for her appointment time, she already knows, oh yes, I was talking to you on the phone, hi, and she feels comfortable. She feels that she can she's not just a stranger on the phone making an appointment, that we've already established that one-on-one connection. And that's what it's about, just connecting with these young ladies and these families. It's just about the relationship.
Yeah, that's one thing that, and I think sometimes whenever I would be here, women would come in and be a little surprised because they were getting to be able to have conversations. And some of them don't expect that. They walk in and just think, I'm just going to have a pregnancy test and that's it. But they're met with love. I can't, this is not like a preach at people type place. This is we are literally here to love you through this time of your life. And the people that, the women that come in, they need to hear somebody that cares about what they're going through. It's very intimidating, and it's especially if you're coming in and you haven't told anyone in your life. They're coming in and they're not really sure who they can depend on. That's what y'all serve that need, and that is something that's very different and special and unique about what y'all are doing here. And I think that it's just so valuable. And having those relationships that start with that, and then they can come back and talk a little bit about the boutique, but also how they get things from the boutique.
The boutique is so nice. It's we have it up with baby girl clothes, boy clothes, and it's so cute in there.
Yeah, it really is.
But what they do,
and people can donate.
Yes,
this is all donations. So if you have baby clothes, this is a great place to bring them.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a point system that they go through, and what they have we have them watch videos. So the videos can be up to 20 to 30 minutes long. When you come in and take the time to watch the movies, you earn a point, and it all accumulates. So the point system, you can get either a box of diapers, or 1 point will give you a box of diapers or 5 outfits, hanging outfits, or there's some that we have like the socks and the mittens that you put on their hands, things like that. So the point system has worked out great, and it's, if you want to watch 2 videos a week, you're able to do that. If you want to watch 3, and as you're doing that, your points are adding up, so that you can come in and walk in with 5 points. So with those 5 points, you can get a box of diapers, you can get 5 outfits, you can get a toy, and we also have the car seats and the cribs and things like that you can also be earning as well. So point system is great.
It is, and the videos that are available are mainly about care for a child and what to expect as you go through the pregnancy and stuff. So talk about that.
That's the education part. Whether you're a new mom or this is your second baby or even your third, we provide those videos where they will show you as to getting you prepared into motherhood. What happens, with you inside, your emotions, as after you have a baby, your emotions are like all over the place, and at the same time, you want to be the best mom you can be to this baby. So these videos help you. They help you how to be a mom. What could you do better at, or what happens when a baby turns 3 months? What are the things that he or she could be doing right now, are supposed to be doing right now? And it just helps as far as, like I said, the emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual aspect of everything. Videos are great. It's a part of our education process.
Yeah, because that's so important. It's like, yes, you want to give the needs, the physical needs, but being able to educate, because not just like what you said, not everybody that's coming in has never had a baby before. Everybody comes in from different learning curves, but being able to have that additional education that you might not know is because do you have a lot of clients that come in that maybe don't have like medical care or like insurance, things like that, where they might not normally get some of that?
Yes, they do, and we help them along the way as far as getting on Medicaid. We help them with that process on what they can do, and that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. But we do have many that come in with no insurance, and they don't know what to do. They think it's gonna cost a lot, or where do they go? What's the best doctor? Who can I get? I mean, they have no idea, especially the first time moms. So we help them with that. We help them to get connected with Medicaid and also with WIC.
Yeah, and I think that this is something that you can speak to more. If I think that this is something to think about when someone goes through, when a woman goes through, an unexpected pregnancy, and it's an exciting unexpected pregnancy, and you have families that are around you that are telling you what to do, that you're going to go to the doctor, and this is what you're going to do, and you're going to visit the doctor this often, and this is what you can expect, and you're going to get a sonogram, and these are the steps that you're going to take. When you have that support of a family, it makes the process, first of all, less intimidating, but second of all, you know what to expect. But when you have an unexpected pregnancy, that's not a welcome. That might not be the most exciting thing, and you are alone. Part of that is understanding the process and having someone that walks you through what to expect and where are the answers to your questions. So sometimes it's as simple as, I didn't know that I could get that. I didn't know that I could do that. I didn't know that's what I was supposed to be going through.
Right.
And so I think that's a very important component of helping a woman through this time in her life, and having somebody there to help her. I mean, I would imagine, is that something that you see a lot?
We do see a lot of that, and we always let these young ladies know, come back or call us. If you have any questions, concern, or if there's something that you're just not sure about, call us. There's never a wrong question or a dumb question.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They're never, and we let them know that. Don't think that your question does not matter or that it's not important. Give us a call. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you. And
because Google only goes so far.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously.
Yes, Google only goes so far. Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as having that relationship, your relationship with the churches in the area are very important.
Yes.
And one of the reasons I wanted to interview y'all is because y'all had come to my church and spoken, which is not uncommon. That I've seen that's something that the center has done for several years. But if you're a church that feels very strongly about helping women through an unexpected pregnancy, if that's something that is very important to your church, this is a way to do that, because what you can do is enter into this situation and not only just donate things, and that's important too, but to provide a place in a church home for the women that do choose to go through with their pregnancies and that do want to have those babies. They need a community too, and that's where the church can step in, and our churches around here can provide them a family that is excited that they're having a child, because they might not have families that are excited that they're having a child. And then they have a place for their baby to go after they're born, and now they can go to the children's ministry, and you can still, that mom can still be a part of a community and still come and be a part of things. And I think that's where churches can step in, and I think that we forget that part. Yes, it's important to support y'all financially, and that's essential, but also providing that partnership to help those women that are going through that.
We actually do have the list of all of our churches here in our community, and when we get to know our young ladies that come in, we ask them, are you connected to a church? Do you go to a church? Some say yes, some say no. So what we do is we connect them with the church, somewhere where it's close to their home, or they have an option. We have a list of all the churches, and they will decide, okay, I'd like to go to this church. And so what we do is we will connect with the liaison at the churches. Each church should have a liaison that we speak to, and they will expect the young lady to go and welcome her into the church, and that's where the connection comes in. So we have that opportunity as well to be able to get them in touch with someone so that they can get connected in the church, so that they can speak to someone at the church, and most of all, as you said, we're partnering so together as a community for these young ladies to let them know you're not alone. We're here for you. Right. You will be connected to a church family that will be here for you also along the way through the pregnancy and after the pregnancy.
That's right.
So yes, that's what we do, and we're so grateful to have the opportunity to be able to speak the gospel here at the Pregnancy Resource Center.
Yeah, and I think that, whether people see it or not, or think it or not, when you're in a situation that's unexpected like that, and you don't know how the church feels about you, right? Because this is the situation that you've come into, and to have a church go, oh my gosh, we're so glad that you're going to be, we want to have you here. That is a barrier that comes down. And I think that it's a very important barrier that comes down.
It is.
And then to show that our community cares about not just helping somebody through a pregnancy, but also supporting them through motherhood. That's hard. That's hard for anybody. And so that's really important. And if there's any churches out there that are listening, or people, and you don't know how your church is handling it through the churches that are here, talk to somebody at your church and figure out how you can fit in. But one of the things that y'all do with churches is y'all do a fundraiser with them. So tell me about that fundraiser, because I've been seeing it at my church for years and years. So,
well, we have a fundraiser that we have every year, which is our Applauding Life Banquet, which is in October, and this year is going to be October 28th. And that's our fundraiser that we hold every year at the Ruth Jackson Center. We also have our Change for Life baby bottle fundraiser that starts on Mother's Day, and that goes through the summer. That one is where we will take baby bottles to the churches, and
empty ones.
Thank you, empty ones, and they fill up the bottles with change, loose change that they have, cash or check.
$100 bills. But yes, change. Change in anything that you want to put in there.
And then we will collect them, or someone will drop them off here on Father's Day or after Father's Day. And then we have one that's coming up this Friday. It's a Laugh for Life Comedy Night fundraiser, and we're super excited. It's going to be at True Grace Church.
Is this new?
Well, they've had it here for 2 years. This is our third one.
Oh, wow.
So they've had a couple these past few years, but yep, this is the first one in about 4 years.
So it's at True Grace, you said?
True Grace Church, and that is 417 West Marshall Drive in Grand Prairie.
Okay, and that's this Friday, so I'll make sure that this comes out immediately so that people can know. This is Friday, what's the date?
April 30th.
April 30th, okay.
7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we have comedian Dory McLemore. We have Stereo Band. We're going to have raffles.
Ooh.
Yes, the raffles. Nobody wants to miss the raffles.
No. Do people have to buy tickets to the event?
Yes.
Okay.
Tickets, you can go online to purchase the tickets. It's $1. I'm sorry, not $1.
That's the raffle, probably.
$20 for an individual, or $35 for a couple. We're going to have a concession stand, shirts to sell. We have some merch to sell. But it's going to be fun. And
That's
I think the past year, everything that we've been through, all that stuff. And now it's time to have some good laughs.
That's right.
Just hang out with some great people, fellowship, and eat.
Are kids welcome?
Kids are welcome. We will have daycare there. Daycare is available.
Oh, great.
And that's going to be $5 per child.
Okay. That's awesome. So, and so the bottles, that's going to start soon because Mother's Day is coming up. Yeah. So, if you see those at your church, or here's the thing, if there's people out there that are not back in church yet, maybe you've still chosen to stay at home from Zoom or whatever, and you wouldn't normally have seen those bottles at your church, just know that they're there. Yeah. So you can go pick them up, and then you bring them back, and you can fill them up multiple times. So just pass them around your friends, get it back, empty it out, fill it back up again, and then just bring all that change, all that money back to your church, and you all come pick it up on Father's Day, you said, right? Mm-hmm.
And it's not just bottles, baby bottles. We're also going to have envelopes that we're going to send out to the churches.
Good.
So you're more than welcome to put in cash or write down your credit card information on the envelopes. So those are also going to be available.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So speaking of Father's Day, y'all do have fathers that will come in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Together. So talk about that a little bit. Is that something you see?
Mm-hmm. The fathers do come in, and we actually have a pastor, Pastor Joe Rivera, that he is our advocate for our young men that come in, and we get them connected with Pastor Joe Rivera, and he will guide them and direct them, speak to them, love on them just as much. You know, the dad plays a very big part.
Yes.
A very big part in this as well. So.
Well, whenever I was here, as ashamed as it is to think about this, you don't really think about the dad.
Exactly.
And when I was here, and it didn't happen just all the time, but there were dads that would come in, and I don't know why it struck me that was out of the ordinary, or in my mind it was, but that's so important.
It is very important.
Yes.
It is. And when we see the dad come in with the young lady, we're like, oh, great, you know, because they both get to come in and hear the heartbeat, the sonogram. It's just amazing. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's truly amazing when this couple comes in together, because they come in and supporting one another. He's here to support her as well, you know. So we love it.
That's amazing. And you know, for when people that do come in for counseling or and talk to advocates, it is completely confidential.
Absolutely.
That's still confidential conversation, and you know that it's not just people that are faced with what they don't know what to do. It's anybody. This is a great opportunity for any woman that is in a position to just to have that somebody there that cares. So I don't want it to seem like there's all kinds of women that come in to the center for all kinds of different reasons and all kinds of different needs. Mm-hmm. And do you see people come in with their families?
Yes.
Really?
We do, but during this COVID, of course, we had to keep it limited. Mm-hmm. But there are some that have come in with families.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's really great to hear that. Mm-hmm. And y'all do have rooms. If y'all have never been in here, bless y'all. Y'all have done so many things with this space. But y'all do have rooms that are very comfortable and that y'all do have conversations. So there are private rooms in here. We're sitting in a space that's like it feels like a living room. And you've put some furniture in here. It's nice and comfortable and cozy. And so it's nice to be able to come in and have that time. So, but they're confidential conversations that go on behind closed doors, and y'all have spaces for that here.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, we have rooms available for counseling, for any kind of privacy that needs to be, you know, away from everyone. Mm-hmm. So we do provide that. We just want these young ladies to know that when they walk in this door, it's about them. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about you. Let us get to know you and what's going on. We don't want them to feel judged.
Right.
You know, whatever is going on outside these doors, let's just put that on the side for a minute. Mm-hmm. Let's focus on you and how can we help you? Mm-hmm. What's going on? And when we get them in here and we go into the back room, they feel the love. Mm-hmm. They're not judged. They're not going to be criticized, but
There's not a question they can ask that y'all haven't already heard.
Exactly.
Right.
They just want to be heard. They want help, you know, and we want to give them that that hope, you know. We're here for you.
Mm-hmm. So what brought you here? Like, what did you do before this? Before you became director of this?
I actually worked at GPISD.
Uh-huh.
I came in from the school system. I worked for the school system for 15 years. I actually started for Advantage Academy Charter School, and then slowly got into GPISD.
Now, are you a teacher? Were you a teacher? Were you a professional?
I was actually a nurse aide.
A nurse aide.
I was a nurse aide for many years there for the school system. And then the last 2 years that I worked for GPISD, I was at the attendance office at Grand Prairie High School.
Wow. So what brought you here? Like, you were in the education and, thing. So what made you want to come to a nonprofit, first of all? Because that's a whole different scenario. Like, running a nonprofit, you could talk about that a little bit. There's a lot more that goes into it than people even realize.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
It's quite the undertaking.
Well, Tammy Williamson, the previous director here at the center, she and I actually met a few years ago.
Oh, really?
We met over 20 years. Over 20 years
wow.
ago, in the summer of 2001. I actually walked into the center thinking that it was an abortion clinic, and it was not.
Wow, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
that happened a lot when I was here too. People would walk in thinking that.
Yeah. So Vicki Smith was here at that time, and Tammy Williamson. They both welcomed me in here, and Vicki was actually my advocate, my counselor, and
I had no idea any of this. I was just curious.
Vicki Smith was my advocate, and love her.
Wow.
Through the years, we've stayed in contact. I've come in and out, for sometimes I just wanted to come and say hi because I love them. Yeah. The way they welcomed me that day, that first day, just changed everything. They just did so much more than just make me an appointment and ask me the questions. It wasn't about that. It was like, Monica, what's going on? And just the love in their voice, you could just hear it, like it just embraced you, and
now Tammy's not here, but I want y'all to know, like, she's still alive. She just moved. She's
Tammy Williamson is doing great. She has retired. She's doing good, and lives in Florida now. And her and her husband.
The woman
Terry,
radiates love.
Yes.
If she's listening, and I'm gonna talk to her daughter-in-law and tell her that we are talking about her. But she radiates. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. She just radiates love. And she was here before she started this.
Yes,
I believe.
she did.
She was here for quite some time, and you're touching on something, I think, coming back over and over again. And one of the things at the banquets, if you go to the banquet in October, which you should, because it's an amazing experience to be, because I've been to several myself. The women that come through here come back with their kids for years.
Yes.
And it's amazing to get to see how their kids flourish, how the women flourish, how things change, and that is something that the center wants to know. Like, they want to be a part of your life and to know, and you're just proving that in your story, which I didn't have any idea before you started talking. That's the beauty of what this place is, and I can't explain that enough through a podcast. How much love radiates through this building. Yes, that's what it is.
It's all about love. It's all about the love of Jesus Christ. It's about that, and feeling accepted.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
But when I walked in there and in here and they welcomed me like that, it was like, oh my gosh, they don't know what's going on with me.
Right.
I felt accepted.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to know, my circumstances or anything. They just were here for me, and they wanted to get to know Monica. and it's just so great, so great. So through the years, I stayed in touch and I volunteered. I've spoken at the banquets a couple of times, and one summer I volunteered because working at the school district, you're off during the summer, so I wanted to volunteer, and so I came in and volunteered and loved it, just amazing. I can't even describe it. It's just so good. It's great, and so I went back to work. I went back to school, to the school district, and Tammy called me one day, and she called me in to come talk to her, and she asked me if I'd be interested in taking the executive director position.
Ah, so she kind of handed the reins off to you. Okay.
So I was like, what? I was in shock. I was like, well, I'm wanting to retire, and I'm just I'm ready to retire. And Terry and I were just ready, and it's like, but you've been here for so long. This is you. And she said, Monica, I've been here a very long time, and I love every minute of it. But it's time for me to move on. And so we thought about you, and I was like, oh my gosh. She says, now I want you to go home, pray about it, and talk to your husband about it. Don't answer me right now. Okay. It took me a while to answer her. It took me she asked me at the end of October, early November, and I actually didn't answer her till February of 2020.
So this was actually before the pandemic that she had decided to retire. It wasn't the pandemic that sparked that. Gotcha.
No,
okay.
It was not the pandemic. This was way prior to that. But so that's what I did. I went home.
The pandemic was just a surprise to you. After you said yes, you're like, yay!
So who would have thought that the pandemic was going to start in 2020, March of 2020, and then during that spring break, I was off from work for that vacation time, and so I came in to Tammy, and I had said yes, and I'll accept the position, and from then on, I've been here. Didn't go back to GPISD, and here I am.
How are you experiencing, because running a nonprofit is it's challenging. There's a lot of wheels in the air. Now you took over a nonprofit that was well run, and but that's not always the case.
Right. Some
of them, and it's not because people are doing it poorly on purpose or anything. It's just running a nonprofit, and I'm saying this because I've volunteered at several, and I've talked to directors. There's a lot that is expected of you. To be able to sustain an organization that's nonprofit requires a lot of fundraising. It requires a lot of intentional effort. It requires organization, and it's not like you get paid $1 million to do your job. So, but you took over for one that was very loved. It wasn't just a job for Tammy. It was this was her legacy. Right. And so you took over for one, and that's why she wanted to hand it off to you. I can only imagine that she saw that love that you had for this place too. But how has it been different for you than what you came from, as far as a job to now doing this?
It is very different, and she even told me, she says, "No, Monica, this is going to be way different from what you've been doing. So make sure you go home and think about this, pray about this, and definitely talk to your husband about it." And she did mention, this is a nonprofit organization. So wanted to make sure she was very clear on that, and that I understood that. And but you know what? That wasn't a concern. It really wasn't. I went home and I prayed about it, and I had been speaking to God for a long time about wanting to be in a ministry where I could help women, help them with what I've been through. And I thought it was just going to be, I don't know, at the school somehow or somewhere. I had no idea that this was what he had in mind. That this.
That's usually how that works with God.
Yep. So So it is very different. There's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that and that goes with everything else, with every job. Nobody knows what happens, behind another person's job, their position. So it has its challenges, but I tell you what, I have a great team here. We are definitely together here.
And talk about that too, because y'all do have a partnership. Well, first of all, Christina, you have Christina that's been here for forever. How long has she been here for?
I want to say she's been here 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes.
And she is a firecracker.
She's
but y'all also have, and you also have the volunteers from people from the community that come in, and there's always a need for more.
Yes.
But you also work with DBU, and DBU has been a part of this for a long time. So talk about that a little bit.
DBU has been great. So what DBU does is they will recommend some young ladies.
And for DBU, Dallas Baptist University. I say DBU, just assuming that everyone knows what that is.
I know, I do that too.
But it's right over Mountain Creek Parkway, and so it's just right on the other side of the lake. So it's real close by where we are. But I'm sorry, continue.
They partner with us, and they will send young ladies who need some hours, and some internship hours or volunteer hours to come in, and they come and help us, and they're great. These are amazing young women. We even have young men that come and help us with either of the labor stuff. They'll come in and help us do things around the center, but there's a volunteer now, advocate that we have now, that she has been here going, I believe, on her second year here, and great. And we had another one too. She's here, but she's about to move on, and next week will be her last week with us. But with them as well, we establish a relationship with them as well, and they establish relationships with the women that come in through the doors as well. Yeah, they're great.
I think that's such an important point. And DBU, as long as I've ever come in here and volunteered, they've always been a presence. Some of the girls are in sororities that will come in. Now the girl that's here now, Hannah, she is paid by DBU because they have a program there where students can get paid, and it's usually, she was telling me about it before we started. You usually see them working at the university at the campus level, but they didn't have any, they have all these kids that work over there, so now she comes over here and she gets paid to be here to help. And I think that's phenomenal, and I don't know how many other colleges do that and send their students out in the community like that, but this is something I think young people need to be doing.
It's because, you know what, she could have chose to go anywhere else.
So she chose to be here.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
She was given the option, and she chose to be here.
Wow.
And just great. It's great. But you mentioned a sorority, and we also have Sigma Chi Eta that also they do wonderful things for us here at the PRC. Allie, she's over the group of ladies that they come in and they'll help us. Like at the banquet, they'll help us set up, they'll help us break down. The fundraiser on Friday, they're going to help us set up, and they're going to help us break down. Just donating things. They also have baby showers for some of our young ladies here.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. They do the whole baby shower, and I'm talking the gifts, the food, just the welcoming them, the whole thing, the whole baby shower thing. And but we love them. We love DBU.
So we were kind of touching on something. We have a little bit more time. We have about 15 more minutes, and I want to touch on something that we were talking about before we started. So you worked for the district, so you're around students, and then now you're working with, you have DBU kids that come in here that are college age. Do you see that there's a need, or there's a desire for kids that are growing up in a community to know how to serve in their community? I mean, do you see a need for that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, we do. We do see the need, and it's so great to be able to get these young people in here and let them know how can they serve, in their community. If it's not this organization, well, it could be another organization down the street or somewhere else, but they don't know because
we don't talk about it.
But it would be great. They would feel like, okay, I can do this, okay, and see where their future will lead them by them just volunteering at an organization. You just never know.
You don't, and that's one of the main things of this podcast that I really wanted to do, is to talk about where people could be more involved in their community. Because especially for Grand Prairie, and I talk about this all the time, Grand Prairie is such a large city in terms of like size, just the territory that it covers. We don't know, there could be people on the south side of town and even know we'd had a pregnancy center here, because you're in the middle of town, and then on the north side. So we have to stay connected. But and of course, I think it's the assumption that kids today, quote unquote, the kids today don't care about this, and the kids today just want to be on their phones, and that very well might be true for some. But I think there's a growing number of kids that want to find purpose and responsibility in their lives, and we are assuming that they don't want that, so we're not telling them or encouraging them to take that responsibility. But I think we need to be doing that more. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. And it's those that you think don't want to get involved, want to get involved. It's just those that, we're like, people think, oh, they don't want to because they're doing this and this and that, but they wind up being the first ones there. If they get invited to go somewhere, as far
if
as
they get invited,
yes.
See, you have to invite them. You have to talk to them.
Yeah. And it's just like the young ladies that we see here. If we don't let them know as far as education and resources, and they'll say, oh, well, I didn't know, or I didn't know I could go there, or I didn't know they helped with this and that. And like you said, if we don't say anything, they don't know. And if they don't come forth for help, they don't know. Same with the students. If they don't get invited or if they don't get talked to, then they don't know. And it's all community effort.
It is. And being able to, if your kids are on their devices all the time, which I had to take my daughters away there for a little bit, but like, they might be on their devices because they don't know what else to do with their time. They could be bored. Now, can I say that you're waiting on a announcement in your personal life?
Yes.
So you're waiting on a special arrival of your own.
Yes.
Not you personally, but your daughter?
My daughter-in-law.
Your daughter-in-law.
My daughter-in-law. So we are waiting on the phone call for a grand entrance.
I know when I talked to you on Sunday, you were like, I think today's the day, and then now you're like, I'm just waiting for this for the announcement. But yeah, and we were kind of talking about the pandemic and how that has affected being involved and being able to be at the hospital, and that's just a whole nother sad part about all this. But yeah, going back to the kids, I think that not only, I never worked at a nonprofit as a kid. I didn't come in to a building and even understand how a nonprofit even works.
Yeah.
And so being able to have that experience is really important, because I think that we can go along our lives and be kind of selfish and self-centered and self-involved and not even look up and realize what's around us.
Right.
And so when you can get plugged into something, and maybe the Pregnancy Resource Center isn't for you, but there's so many nonprofits that are, and they're so specific in what they provide. And when you have a community that takes it upon themselves to meet the needs of that community instead of waiting on the city government to do it, we can't do that because they can't possibly know what 100,000 people in a city need at all the time. But that's why we have places like the Pregnancy Resource Center. And so what do y'all need the most right now? Like, what would you say is the most need?
Well, right now, I believe our volunteers is something that we need right now. And volunteer, the schedule here, you could, we're flexible. You could volunteer one day a week, once a month, or twice a month. You let us know your availability, and we'll see, how we can work around that. You can volunteer from 10:30 to 4:30, or 10:30 to 1:30, or 1:30 to 4:30. I mean, it's up to you. You can do a half a day or you can do a full day, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you're able to do. And like I said, you pick the days, Monday through Thursday, and just come on in and see what it's about, and see if this is for you. It may not, but we could probably lead you to somewhere that you could probably serve at, that will be more for you. But yeah, we definitely could use some volunteers.
Because you don't put advocates back there that don't want to be advocates.
Correct.
So
we do not.
Right. That was a big deal when and that was something that Tammy said to me too. Is she's like, because I just wanted to come in just to help. I think I had just started being a real estate agent. I didn't have any clients at the time. I was like, I have the time. I'll go ahead and do that. And you might want to come in. You might have it in your head, come in and be an advocate. And do the counseling part of it, but that might not be your strong suit.
Right.
And it's really important that, so I don't want people to think you're just going to walk in and like be plugged right in. You might show up and help with paperwork. You might show up and help answer the phone.
Right.
There's different things that you can do. It doesn't have to be just to work with volunteers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with the counseling and that's not something that you want to do, but you rather help answering the phones or putting packets together or organizing our baby room or our supplies or whatever it is, we can help you with that. We can help you. Which area would you prefer?
Or go. One thing I did was travel around to other nonprofits. So let's say that United Charities or something has a surplus of materials that they just don't need, or maybe they don't have space to keep, and that's something that y'all can do. Or like this is kind of how this works in the city. United Charities isn't going to give out diapers. They give out food and they give out other things.
They do. And
so what'll happen is let's say that you have, maybe Target has a surplus of a bunch of things that they're trying to donate. So a company will say, okay, we want the tax write-off. These are all coming to be expired, or they're coming to, or maybe we got a new shipment in and we just have a couple these different things here and there. Is they'll go and deliver it maybe to United Charities, and then United Charities will take them all, and then, or whoever, and they'll say, hey, Pregnancy Resource Center, we have all these diapers. Do you need any? And you'll go, of course we do, because we always need diapers. So then y'all trade resources, and that happens frequently, which is really cool.
Yeah, United Charities has actually been great. Patty over there, the director at United Charities, she will send me an email and she'll let me know, okay, Monica, we have a few things over here if you'd like to come pick them up. And but yeah, that's how we help each other and partner with each other.
And if let's say someone walks into United Charities or Children First or any of the Lifeline, and they walk in and say, this is what I need, but that particular charity does not provide that service, that's when they get directed to the charity that does provide the service.
Yes.
And they're all connected. So so we have, we have a Pregnancy Resource Center that provides this type of counseling. We have United Charities that provides utilities and service and help with food and things like that. We have Lifeline that provides students that are in GPISD that are homeless to try to keep them into school. We have Children First, that is children counseling for kids that are going through traumatic things, or any counseling. All of these charities provide specific things for specific groups of people, but they're all connected.
Right.
They're all connected. Even I don't mean the charities are connected. I mean the services that they provide are all connected.
Yes.
And if you have a community like we do, where that is a partnership and you're not competing for resources, you're all sharing resources, you're trying to help each other, and that is a community that really wants the people that come in to be the first and foremost priority. What can we do to meet your need right now? And I think that Grand Prairie, that we do good, we can always do better, obviously. But so that's what I would do sometimes. I would just make material runs. And I would just drive around and pick things up and come bring them back and then organize them. And that's how I would spend my day. So if you're a volunteer, just come in here if this is something that you haven't ever done. And give your money. If this is important to you, if being there for women during this time is important to you, don't go on Facebook and talk about it. Give your money. Don't make that statement and then not come in and back it up. Come in here and donate your resources, and I don't mean just money, but just your time, your energy, your donate it to something that matters in your community where you can make a difference.
Right.
So,
and this is for our babies.
Yes.
Our unborn babies, to be the voice for them. The mommies, they come in here and they're hurt, they're brokenhearted, they're lost, they don't know what to do. But we see more than that. We don't see a young lady she's not just a body. She is someone, and she's someone's mommy.
That child is a future student in GPSD.
Exactly. So we are the voice for the moms and the babies, and for us not to forget that, for us not to forget the purpose of the pregnancy resource centers. That's what we're here for, to stand up for life.
I think that's a great thing. So I will post all the links to all the things you have coming up so that people can see. And then thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.